The granddaddy of club football returns this week. I am, of course, talking about the Champions League, and it's set to write another exciting chapter into the history books. The most successful team in this competition, Real Madrid, are the defending champions and have been so for the past 3 years on the trot. They have won this competition 13 times, and I'm sure they will be looking to add a 14th title to that collection. Lionel Messi and Barcelona will be looking to redeem themselves after being knocked out of this competition last year by Roma in the quarter-final stages after the Italian side overcame a 3-0 first leg defeat to knock out the Spanish Giants. And even Messi himself has vowed to bring the Champions League trophy back to the Camp Nou. Juventus, who have been a side that's always been on the verge of winning this competition for years, have a real strong chance of doing so this year following the addition of Cristiano Ronaldo to their ranks of sheer talent. And of course, there's Paris Saint-Germain, the French side who some may say have slightly underperformed in this competition in recent years despite their side oozing with quality. They are a force to be reckoned with this season, and you only have to look at their forward three of Edinson Cavani, Kylian Mbappe and Neymar to see why. Yes, it's certainly set to be another exciting year of Champions League football ahead, and I haven't even said or mentioned Bayern Munich. But what about the English teams? Are any of the 4 English teams in this year's Champions League have any chance of bringing the Champions League back to England for the first time since Roberto Di Matteo did for Chelsea back in 2012? Liverpool came close to doing so last season. Can they take it that final step this time around? Can Manchester City, big spending, finally pay off in this competition? Can United shock supporters and pundits alike by being dark horses in this competition? Or can Tottenham finally win a major trophy? In this video, I aim to analyse each English team's chances of winning this season's Champions League. So without further ado, let's begin. We start with Liverpool. The Reds suffered heartbreak in the final last season when they were defeated by Real Madrid 3-1 in Kiev. The story has been well told, analysed and documented by all, and we all know the reasons why Jurgen Klopp's side suffered defeat in the final. There's really no need to dwell on that and regurgitate old news. This season, however, the Reds have strengthened in quality, particularly defensively. Alisson Becker, a Brazilian goalkeeper who originally broke the world record for a transfer fee paid for a goalkeeper before that record was then broken by Chelsea a few days later, has arrived and looked a calm and cool character in goal. He's already made a bit of an impact at Liverpool despite not being tested as much in his opening few games of the season so far. And despite the one major mistake, supporters have taken well to the new goalkeeper coming in and taking over from previous number 1, Loris Karius. Joe Gomez alongside Virgil van Dijk, who himself continues to prove his value and quality with every passing week, has settled in well with the Dutchman, and the pair seem to be developing a very good partnership at the heart of Liverpool's defence, whilst Naby Keita and Xherdan Shaqiri have added good depth to Liverpool's midfield and attacking line. And even Fabinho, who hasn't made a single appearance so far this season, will likely be involved in this competition and will add to the Reds' quality and play. No team will want to face the Reds at Anfield this year, same like they did last season. They will fear Liverpool just like last season. But it won't be easy for Liverpool. Last season their run to the final could have been a lot tougher. Also could have been a lot easier. But it definitely could have been a lot tougher than it actually was. But this year the competition will be a big step up for them and they'll have to be ready for it. In their group, the Reds find they have Napoli, Red Star Belgrade, and of course the mouth-watering ties that lay in wait with PSG. And whilst we should expect a lot of goals from these 4 teams, it won't be easy to qualify for all teams involved. PSG should be the ones to qualify, then it's out of Liverpool and Napoli to see who will qualify into the knockout stages with them and who will fall into the Europa League. The Reds should qualify with PSG, first or second, it's too close to call. The PSG games should be exciting, and Napoli away is always a tough place to visit. Whilst Red Star Belgrade should be the quote-unquote whipping boys of this group. Regardless, I'd expect Liverpool to reach the quarter-finals or semi-final stage depending on how the draw goes for them. Next we come to Manchester City, who last season got knocked out of this competition in the quarter-final stages to Liverpool after a 5-1 aggregate defeat. But this season they are looking to fight back and finally win a trophy that seems to be eluding them since putting their money to good use and winning every other trophy but this one. They managed to keep all their best players over the summer and only strengthened with one addition, and that was bringing in Riyad Mahrez in the summer. But with Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva continuing improvement, Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero up front, they should be in for a successful Champions League campaign. The only downside for them is that Kevin De Bruyne's injury may not see him make a Champions League appearance till at least the knockout stages. That is, if they get there, which looking at their group, they should. It's unfortunate for them, but they should have no issue whatsoever of getting out of the group stages at the very least. In defence, Kyle Walker and Benjamin Mendy will be providing the width, as Mendy seems to have settled back into the side following his lengthy injury which ruled him out of the majority of last season. And Ederson in goal is proving to be one of the more reliable goalkeepers around. City's group contains Shakhtar Donetsk, Hoffenheim and Lyon. They will each provide City with different games and in some cases challenging ones. But City's quality and the money they've pumped into their squad should be enough to see them have no problem in qualifying and topping their group. Travelling a long distance to Donetsk and back will not be something they will enjoy. Lyon will be a tough test for them and Hoffenheim will be physical. But Pep Guardiola should have little trouble in navigating City through the group stage and into the knockout rounds. As for who joins them, for me it's a toss-up between Donetsk and Lyon. I'm leaning more towards Donetsk, but wouldn't be surprised if Lyon step up their game and qualify along with City. From there, it's time City made a real statement in this competition. If I'm being nice, semi-final at the very least. Otherwise, they should be making it to the final. It's about time this side finally made a real go of this competition. Now we move on to Manchester United. Last season, United were knocked out of this competition by Sevilla in the round of 16 stage. The first leg was a goalless draw, which many people praised Jose Mourinho for getting, which baffled me because of the competition's away goals rule, which did indeed come back to bite them in the second leg when Sevilla won 2-1. It was seen as United underperforming in the competition, and many people were right to think that. Since then, in the summer, they've added Diego Dalot, the fullback, and Brazilian midfielder Fred in what was a well-documented, frustrating summer for Jose Mourinho. Going into the season, it's been a little inconsistent in terms of performances and results, and with the Champions League return imminent, the form could continue here. They seriously need their big players to step up here. The likes of Paul Pogba, Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez all need to find that next level, particularly in this competition. As defensively, the defence may be starting to show cracks, but David De Gea is slowly beginning to rediscover his form and is capable of pulling out a show-stealing performance and match-saving performance at that when called upon. The big story in United's group will be Cristiano Ronaldo's return to Old Trafford when Juventus arrive in Manchester. The other two teams in this group are Valencia and Young Boys. Looking at this group, Juventus should be qualifying and topping the group, but then it's a toss-up between Valencia and United. Both sides are inconsistent and slightly unpredictable at times, and I've gone back and forth over who will qualify and who won't out of these two, as Young Boys should be the team to finish rock bottom of this group. If United's problems flare up again, Valencia should be the ones to go through. But if the ship is steadied and everything goes smoothly for United, they will be the ones to qualify instead. If they do so, they'll most likely finish second, and that could set up a game in the knockout stages with a huge team like a Barcelona, Real Madrid or Bayern Munich. And that's why if they progress, unless the draw is very, very, very kind to them, I don't see them getting past the round of 16 stage. And finally, Tottenham. Problems are beginning to flare up at Tottenham as well, and whilst there's no need for immediate panic yet, it definitely is something to keep your eye on going forward. Last season, Tottenham topped their group, and it shocked some people, especially when that group also contained Real Madrid. Tottenham actually secured 4 points over the 2 games they played against the Spanish Giants, drawing 1-1 in Madrid and then defeating them 3-1 in the return fixture. However, a round of 16 4-3 defeat to Juventus on aggregate knocked Spurs out of the competition. This summer has saw a few problems flare up at Tottenham, most notably the new stadium not being built yet, despite the fact it was said that it would have been finished in time for Tottenham's clash with Liverpool. That happened this past weekend, and then as a result in time for Tottenham's Champions League campaign to begin, but of course that hasn't happened. And of course a failure to sign anyone in the summer has also resulted in another problem building up there. It's little problems that may be affecting performances on the pitch, but so far it's too early to say. The supporters will be hoping Hugo Lloris will return to the starting lineup as soon as possible, as Michel Vorm doesn't seem to fill many people with confidence. Whilst the back four will need to return to the usual reliable and strong defensive unit they have been for the previous few years. As for the strike force, Harry Kane again has the expectation of goals on his shoulders, but he's joined this year by Lucas Moura, who joined Spurs last January, and who complements Kane in having the one thing Kane lacks: pace. Eric Lamela returns. The work rate and talent in Heung-min Son also will be needed, along with the quality of both Dele Alli and Christian Eriksen will be called upon if Spurs are to have any sort of successful Champions League campaign. In their group, Spurs have PSV, Inter Milan and Lionel Messi's Barcelona. The Barcelona ties are obviously the standout fixtures from this group and are highly anticipated. Barca should be the one team from this group to almost certainly qualify, and whilst on paper Tottenham should qualify with them, if these problems continue to grow, they could fall third and into the Europa League spots instead. It shouldn't happen, but it's a real possibility. Should they qualify with again finishing second, and if things go the way they should, Spurs could find themselves with a tough knockout game going forward. And like United, I think they could fall at the round of 16 stage again, just like they did last season. And that rounds up this video previewing the English team's chances of winning this season's Champions League. But I want to hear from you. Do you think an English side will win the Champions League this season? If so, who? If not, who do you think will win it? Will Messi make good on his promise to the Barcelona supporters? Will Juventus with Ronaldo claim the biggest prize in club football? Or will Madrid win a fourth Champions League title in a row? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button on the way out. If you're new here or want to hear any of the other content on my channel like this, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. Otherwise guys, thanks for watching and listening. This has been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I'll speak with you all again soon in another video.